Commas are among the most common punctuation marks applied in writing. They are used to divide different parts of a sentence, and when used properly, commas make writing clear and readable, preventing ambiguous meaning and creating natural flow. However, many writers are unsure how exactly to use commas in their written work. This video will provide an explanation of how commas work and when and where to apply them. As you can see from this short paragraph, commas are used a lot, but they aren't always used correctly. The following are 4 cases in which commas are commonly used: to connect 2 independent clauses with an appropriate conjunction, to block off a non-restrictive clause, to set off an introductory word or phrase, and finally to list multiple items in a series. Before moving on, let's define some key terms to be aware of when considering comma usage. A clause is a group of words containing a subject and predicate and functioning as an element of complex or compound sentence. There are 4 types of clauses: independent, dependent, restrictive, and non-restrictive. First, let's compare independent and dependent clauses. Independent clauses contain a subject and verb pairing and express a complete thought. Independent clauses are complete sentences. On the other hand, dependent clauses do not express a complete thought, although they are similar in also containing a subject and verb pairing. They often begin with a subordinary conjunction such as whether, if, or because. To use a comma to connect 2 independent clauses, apply a comma followed by a coordinating conjunction. Restrictive clauses provide essential information about a noun or noun phrase. Restrictive clauses should not be set off by commas. Let's look at an example. A. The professor who teaches our biology class has traveled to Antarctica. B. The professor, who teaches our biology class, has traveled to Antarctica. Which sentence is correct, A or B? First, it is necessary to identify whether who teaches our biology class is a restrictive or non-restrictive clause. Without the clause who teaches our biology class, it would be unclear which professor has traveled to Antarctica. Therefore, who teaches our biology class is a restrictive clause, and the correct sentence is A, which does not include commas. On the other hand, non-restrictive clauses provide supplementary or non-essential information about a noun or noun phrase. Non-restrictive clauses should be set off by commas. The information between the commas is not necessary for us to understand the relationship between the subject and predicate. To use a comma to block off a non-restrictive clause, apply a comma before and after a non-restrictive clause. In addition to connecting and disconnecting clauses, commas are also used to set off an introductory word or phrase. An introductory word or phrase is a word or group of words that comes before the main clause in a sentence. Finally, commas are often used to list items, characteristics, or events in a series. A comma should be used after each item or phrase listed when there are 3 or more items listed. In some academic styles, a comma is included after the second to last item in the list. This is called an Oxford comma or serial comma. It is used to add clarity to your meaning, especially when individual items in a list could be misinterpreted as modifiers or groups of items. For instance, I love my parents, my dog, and Pinocchio. Without an Oxford comma, the meaning of the sentence is unclear. Is the author saying his parents are his dog and Pinocchio? I love my parents, my dog, and Pinocchio. By adding an Oxford comma, the author makes it clear that he loves his parents, his dog, and Pinocchio too. Another rule to keep in mind is that both for example and in other words must always be followed by a comma. One mistake many authors make is to separate a verb and its object. You should also avoid using commas to block off restrictive clauses. In these examples, the essential information is blocked off by commas, telling the reader that this information is not critical. Remember, when including a restrictive clause, omit the commas. For more detailed guides on punctuation, grammar, and formatting, visit wordvice.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming videos focused on helping you improve your academic writing.